Welcome back to episode 2 of the Engagement Agent. So last week we got to work with Kim Yatakis. Thanks again, Kim. Always fun learning from you. And we learned a lot about pies. So that was with the positive interdependence, where students are needing each other, the individual accountability, where everyone's going to perform in front of another student group, that equal participation, equal time, and equal turns. And then last but not least, the simultaneous interaction, really increasing how many kids get to interact at once. Really great information. This week we're going to be looking at gambits. I've got my friend Sam, and Sam is going to be telling us all about gambits, how they work, what they are, when to use them, and honestly, why they're so important. Gambits are a lot of fun, and what I found is that they really start the conversations. They're kind of the jump start, the jumper cables, if you will, to a conversation. How many of us would all like for our students to be able to talk and participate more in class without us having to pull teeth? So let's give it up to Sam. Sam, can't wait to learn from you.
All right, let's talk about gambits and how they benefit our students. First, what are they? Gambits are basically sentences, sentence stems, and sentence frames that we provide our students to help structure positive peer interactions. When someone engages in a conversation with us and they started off with a warm smile and a hello, we automatically feel safer and a little more excited to work with that person. Similarly, as we're engaging in work with that person, if they show that they are listening to us and they value our ideas, we feel a greater sense of belonging and importance. Positive peer interactions greatly contribute to a safe and welcoming learning environment for our students, and in turn lowers the affective filter because our students are a little safer to take risks and engage in the learning process. Using gambits is a great way to encourage these positive peer interaction and support great learning for our students. When providing gambits, we can consider a couple different ways to structure the conversations. Sometimes we can choose to use copycat gambits, which tell us students exactly what to say. Other times we can choose to use sentence stems or sentence frames to help students frame their thinking and share ideas or respond. And then we can also use gambits to help students paraphrase what they heard a peer say. All of these forms of gambits can be used throughout peer interactions, such as when they greet each other, share ideas, respond to ideas of others, celebrate great thinking, and say farewell. So next, we're going to go through each of these types of gambits in a little bit more detail and share some examples. So first, let's talk about greetings and farewells. Here are some examples of those. You'll notice these are all copycat gambits that I've used here. So again, they are what students would say exactly. We would say this, and they'd repeat that. We can start by giving students the one gambit we want them to use, and we can also choose to give students multiple gambits and let them decide how they want to say hello or goodbye to a peer. Here, we're going to talk about how we can structure the conversation for students when they're sharing ideas and responding to ideas of others. Again, we have some copycat gambits that are great for that, and we also have some sentence stems and sentence frames. We might start by having students respond to a peer by using a copycat gambit like "thank you for sharing," and over time progress to asking them to say "I agree because" or "I disagree because," and allow them to elaborate on their thinking a little bit more. We can also provide gambits for paraphrasing, restating what we heard a peer say. Paraphrasing might be something that we use as we've used gambits for a bit of time, and it's also something we have to consider the age of our student and the ability of that student to actually put ideas in their own words. But paraphrasing is a great way for peers to show that they're listening and understanding what their partners are saying. As students become more confident with the routines of gambits, we might open the door to allow them to create their own, decide how they want to say hello, decide how they want to share their ideas. Over time, we may still need to reinforce the routines, but the end goal is that our students just naturally communicate this way. We want them to be something that when they meet a peer, they always say hello. So we want to build their confidence and their ability to do this work naturally. Some people find gambits to be a little bit silly. I know at a Kagan training, you've probably been told to walk up to a partner and say, "I'm so excited to work with you." And most likely your partner and you both smiled and giggled, or you felt silly. But that's exactly what we want for our student, because that moment, while silly, is incredibly positive. And that too lowers the affective filter for our students, because it's allowing them to, like, that laughter kind of lets your shoulders go down and makes you feel a little safer to engage with that person. We all know how important it is to provide our students with the skills and knowledge and tools to positively interact with their peers. And leveraging these gambits is such a great way to embed these social skills into instruction and, in the end, create that welcoming and warm and safe learning environment we all know we strive for.